Hi, welcome to another episode of Foxy Little Nuggets, where the hammer of the news meets the thumb of reality, and we're all supposed to just carry on and smile bravely. So put the kettle on, hide the blood, and let's see what Britain has managed to achieve in the last couple of hours. Story one, we're going to talk about Burnham, because he, of course, is preparing for Downing Street, and of course Tony Blair has warned him that he's not going to be loved, although nobody should be listening to Miranda. But Burnham is now set to become the Labour leader and eventually the Prime Minister after securing enough MP nominations to avoid a leadership contest altogether. He got that last night. He officially becomes the Labour leader on Friday and officially becomes the Prime Minister on Monday because Starmer wants to stay Prime Minister in case England wins the World Cup. And then he can go, I was Prime Minister when England won the World Cup. They're not going to, of course, because it's already been decided by FIFA that Argentina are going to win it this year. But it does mean that he will have no rival, he'll have no hustings, he'll have no public debate, and that's all before he takes the keys to number 10. No scrutiny, no knowledge, no explanation of what his policies are. It's all very, very sneaky. We've had a Marxist coup, and nobody knew. Meanwhile, of course, Westminster is already buzzing with rumours of major cabinet shake-ups and reshuffles. If half the speculation is true, several ministers should probably avoid buying long-term parking permits in Whitehall. And of course, we know that Lammy is probably out. Yvette Cooper will probably be downgraded. And Rachel Reeves, well, she checked out weeks ago, didn't she? She's been doing the rounds going, it's all going to be difficult for him, because there's no way she can survive. Really, it's not a case of her going as Chancellor, it's who's replacing her. Because there's one person that we don't want replacing her, but it looks like he may well be, and even that will be then controversial within the party. I mean, politics is really the only profession where job security lasts right up until someone gets a better WhatsApp group. But there are tensions, and of course, we mustn't forget the Pestminster list. Burnham needs to remember that we all know he's seen it. Story number 2 is about Amnesty and its retreat, or at least Amnesty International, the head body has, because Amnesty International UK has very quietly, sneakily, withdrawn a very controversial report after criticism from women's organisations, from campaigners, from others who objected to it, as it described several groups as anti-rights, because apparently Amnesty International UK don't like the idea of women's organisations standing up for the rights and protections of, women. My God, that's a crime against nature, apparently. The organisation says the report is now under review, which is Amnesty International speak for let's quietly bury this and hope nobody notices and let's move on and never talk of it again. But its international secretariat distanced itself. This is, stepping away. So Amnesty International, which sits above Amnesty International UK, has sort of wandered off, whistling an innocent tune, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, in hopes that nobody associates the two. It's not often that your own head office looks at your homework, stands back in terror and says, perhaps let's pretend that this never happened. It has, though, and we've seen them. Story number 3. The Great Tax Debate. Now, this is a new report. It's been backed by the former Chancellor, Sajid Javid, and it argues that Britain should ease its taxing. It should abolish inheritance tax altogether, abolish national insurance altogether, and even the 45% income tax rate altogether, claiming the current system discourages investment and economic growth. It does. He says, this is Javid, insists that by reducing that tax burden, it will increase investment into Britain. It will increase the willingness to grow, to invest, to put capital into Britain. It will encourage people to work harder, work longer, earn more, keep more of what they earn, and then spend it in Britain, thus lifting the economy. He argues that lower taxes and lower taxation actually brings in more money to the Treasury than high taxes. And of course, also, by having a booming economy, more people working, less people claiming any kind of welfare. And therefore, while more comes in, less goes out. And, well, hey, everyone's a winner, babe. Whether you agree or disagree, One thing is absolutely certain. If you ever want to clear a dinner party in record time, just ask whether inheritance tax should exist. Works every time. Labour, of course, hate the idea. They like people being poor through taxation. It means they have to rely on the state. And when they're relying on the state can control them. Good little Marxists, really, aren't they? Story 4, of course, we can't get away with this one. It's following the murder and, well, the tragic death, really, of Anne Widdecombe. Concerns about the safety of politicians continue to dominate Westminster. Parliamentary authorities have offered meetings with Reform UK and their representatives after questions raised about security arrangements. Of course, it also now puts a bit of a downer on any investigation into Farage, who received £5 million for his personal safety. Yeah. Oh, well, you don't need it, they said. And now apparently they do. Whatever anyone's politics, threats of violence and actual violence against these representatives have no place in a democratic society, against anyone, whether they're representatives or not. Robust argument is part of politics, of course. Intimidation and violence and murder are not, and never should be, and should never be accepted. So well done on them. And, of course, and finally, we do like an and finally, and it's a lovely one. We're going to talk about dogs, because, yeah, dogs are great. Scientists keep telling us that dogs are remarkably good at reading human emotions, and every dog owner in the world will know that. You've only got to sort of think something sometimes and they know. They can tell when we're happy, stressed, upset or excited, often before we've realised it ourselves. Which means, somewhere, in Britain today, millions of dogs, up and down the country, have watched their owners shouting at the TV during the news and quietly concluded, there they go again. Perhaps I'll just pretend I need another walk, just to calm them down and stress them less. Get them out in the real world, with grass on their feet, sun in the sky, and a song in their heart. And then they'll look at you and do that head tilt and put the sad eyes on. And at that moment, you're under their spell. Frankly, I think they're the wisest creatures on the planet. On that cheerful note, that's your Foxy Little Nuggets for this evening. Sleep well, look after yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow for another helping of news, nonsense, the occasional joke, and I do have some advice. There's a video going out at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's advice over VPN, so do keep an eye out on that one. And just stay happy. Remember, no matter how bad you think it is, it could get worse because Burnham's coming in. But then it's got to get better because in 3 years, Burnham's gone. Just hang on in there. Thanks a lot. Bye.